Yeah. So here we go, high poly. So let's start by making the cylinder. Let's go here and make a new cylinder. And I just look roughly on my reference. And I just place it like that. Let's move it up. A little bit thinner. Yeah, that's about the right size. Okay. I also want to have this fairly round. So I see this as a hero prop in my case. So I want to, of course I want to keep it as low poly as possible. But I don't want to have like jagged edges because I expect you to look at it from up close. It is a small cylinder, so we can go to like 22 sides. Looks about right. Let's just convert this to addons poly. Let's move this up slightly, and we can just delete like the bottom face because I already know I don't need that. Okay, then on the top face, what you want to do is you want to insert it like this. Then we want to extrude it, just do 0 and like move it down around here. Insert it again like this and extrude it again and move it down, and we will place a screw inside of here, which will be a detail for the normal map. I want to place one shift loop. Let's go to the side view so we can really line up. One shift loop here and one shift loop in the middle of this face over here. I want to select the shift loop and I want to just chamfer it. Let's have it around this size, so 0.09. I want to pick shift loop, I want to hold shift and I want to click, and this will place it exactly in the middle. And then I want to just scale it outwards. It is a little bit too sharp, so I just want to chamfer this to be like 0.03. Let's say 0.03. No, actually I like 0.04 more. Here we go. And then for this one I also want to chamfer this, and basically we are going to place this for 2 segments, and we are going to scale this down because we want to have the flow of the pushed in line go all the way like this. It looks around fine. Okay, so there we already have it. Let's add a addons poly. Let's convert this also to a high poly. So same process, and this will be for basically everything. I don't want to place the edge loop in here because I want to have it fairly round in the normal map. Always don't make it, when you do this, always make it a little bit more smooth looking than it is supposed to be in real life, because a normal map will take away a bit of that smoothness, and it's always nice. We don't want to have basically any sharp edges in the normal map. That's basically it. So yeah, I want to insert this, then just insert it slightly, and now if you add a turbo smooth, just leave it on one iteration because it's a small model, and here you see it flows along nicely. So we can just duplicate this. Let's turn off turbo smooth so I can match it up exactly with the middle. Let's turn it on again. And here we go. So that's for those 2 parts. Now let's start by, sorry for the update. Let's start by making the top over here, which yeah, it's fairly easy. So we will make this out of a cube, 2 cylinders, and we will make one of these, and then we can just duplicate it across everything. So I'm just moving this back to my second screen. Save it, and let's make the top. Okay, so for the top part, what you want to do is you want to go to the top view, and we want to make it out of a sphere, or I mean a cube, sorry. Okay, so I just decided to time-lapse this again to speed up the process a bit. So I'm just creating a cube for our top part. I'm just scaling down, making it the right proportions, just placing it in the right place. So yeah, it's very straightforward this. I'm just using the connect function to add some segments so that I can make one of the parts round, as you can see. I'm just nicely moving that out. Just making sure everything looks good. I'm just chamfering this, just like in the reference, and just making it round. Now we'll just deselect the bottom and bevel the top. There you go. These are a bit too sharp, so I'm also just going to place a small bevel over there. And now I'm just using the connect function because it wasn't able to use Swift Loop to add a connection. I'm just going to place or align that edge with the cylinders next to it. And I'm just going to create a seam here, just like we did on the round part of the bottom model. Looks like I actually changed my mind. Here we go. Yeah, I'm just scaling that in and moving that down. Yeah, so we want to make a cylinder, as I showed there, to follow up with the, or a sphere to follow up with the screw. So I'm just lowering that and I'm immediately making the screw. So just lower the segments to an even number. Just rotate this and then delete half of it. And just move it down. Go to the top view and the side view just to align it and make sure that it is the right size. And now just select your segments and add more segments in order to smoothly move around the sphere like this. And yeah, just move it around so that it looks proper. Okay, now that that's done, just slightly adjusting it. Over here I'm just using the connect function again to create our plug. So just place it roughly this size and just select those faces, scale them up to the size you want and just extrude that inwards. And then select the outer edges and chamfer that slightly, just to add something extra. So let's create a screw. So for this I'm just going to select the center edges like this. And I'm just chamfering that to roughly the size you want the center of the screw to be. And now I'm just selecting my faces and just scaling this down. So it's pretty straightforward. And I'm just turning this into a high poly by placing my Swift loops. And since it's a cylinder, of course we get all these lines, so we only want to place Swift loops where they are supposed to be. So I just want to select everything, and then I want to deselect the parts where I do not want to have the Swift loop. So yeah, this takes a while to properly select it. Just figuring out the right places to select it. And then I want to just press Ctrl backspace to remove, once you're done, to remove all the faces that are not supposed to be there. And they will automatically connect up on the edges. As you can see, to nicely have it around. And here you go, now you have a nice smooth screw. So now let's turn this into a high poly, just by placing your swift loops supporting edges. And I'm now just using the slice tool to quickly slice across, just to save some time. And over here I just want to adjust the vertices so that they aren't too close to the other seams. And on the other side I just decided to use my cut tool. And also here on this side just use the cut tool to nicely place your seam around. I'm just placing two seams over there and then I'm connecting them up so that they guide all the way across. And once that's done, just add a turbo smooth. Here we go. And now I have a nice high poly. So let's create the side cylinders that we have done. And they are also very straightforward. Just try to get the right size, try to get everything lined up nicely, and just for the top I'm just inserting that and just extruding that, inserting it again and extruding it in to get the right shape that you want, just like in the reference. For most of this just really look in the reference. So yeah, just turning it into a high poly like this. Copy the screw and place it in there so that it fits nicely. Here we go. Just use your top view to place it properly. And now I just want to copy this over to the other side like this. So now we will be making those small parts here at the side, which we will just be making out of a cube. So yeah, just try to make it the right size. Remove the bottom, select all the edges and chamfer it, so that you get sort of a round effect, but not a too high poly round effect. And then turning it into a high poly will cover up with the rest. And that will be in non-map just like that. So like that we will save some polys. Just scaling those down a bit, place them to the side and then just copying them over to the other side. And then just place one, and I want to copy that over to this and just scale it down. First do the outer sides, then the center, and then in between there. And just copy this over to that side. So that's already done. Very quick. Now for our plug, we want to just create it out of a box. And just make sure that it doesn't touch the outer details. Remove the bottom and just place your seams in between those other cubes that we have, so that now we can just drag this out, so that we can just extrude those faces to create a plug. So yeah, just extrude this out. Select all those faces and just use the extrude function on local normal to extrude this out. And now if we can select the inner centers, so I'm just adjusting this, placing two loops, and just select the inner center over here and just insert this and then just extrude it in once you are happy with the scale, like this. And our wires will go in there, so don't worry about the center of it, because you can barely see it. And I'm just placing my swift loops over here, just making everything look good. So yeah, this takes a while because it has so many small parts in it that need supporting. So I'm just selecting one edge of all of them in the center. I'm just ringing that, and then I'm using the connect function to connect it in. And now I'm just using my swift loop tool for the top, and I'm just turbo smoothing that, and that works. Now I will make those bolts over there and the back. So yeah, I'm just explaining that I will be doing it. So for the bolts, we want to create it out of a cylinder. Just make it the size you want. It's fairly easy, fairly straightforward. Just remove the bottom, create a swift loop and just extrude this as local normal to create like the bottom of the bolt. And then at the top just insert this and extrude this in. I'm just scanning it slightly smaller. Remove the bottom again and now just turn it into a high poly. Just by inserting this. And turbo smooth. And here we go. Now I just want to go to edit my pivot. Place it exactly in the center of the other cylinder. So now we can rotate it around by holding shift and just rotate it multiple times. If needed, adjust it a little bit. Here we go. So now that you've done that, we just want to make the little clips that can hold our wires, which we will just made out of a cube. So just follow your reference. Just place a center line and just move this out. Place one at the back and just select all these lines and use the connect function. And just extrude this out. And let's just extrude this again. Here we go. And now we can remove the bottom because we don't need it. And we can start turning this into a high poly. Like this. So it's fairly easy. And I forgot to place one loop there. So copy this over to the other side. Just slightly place it differently just to add something to it. And now we will be making those cylinders, the big ones, which we can copy over 3 times.